scripture you take Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita, Ramayana, it talks about the compassion of Lord. Today we are going to see what is this compassion, what it means. So that compassion which is beyond even the thoughts of people is what is exhibited by Rama. Let's discuss that. So please recite prayers after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So last week we ended the discussion at Sugriv questioning the intentions of Vibhishan. He was questioning. Although Vibhishan came and we know the story behind, he was very hurt in his heart, but he was totally misunderstood by Vibhishan. And he was right in doing so because after all, Sugriv is a king. Sugriv is also friend of Lord Ram. So he's taking a protective role. He doesn't want Lord Ram to be harmed, the Vanar Sena to be harmed. How can you just put trust on anybody who just comes to your door, to your place? And what is the connection of this person with Ravan? He's the brother of Ravan. How can you put trust on him? He could be an enemy in disguise. Even though he's claiming that I have nothing to take shelter of, I am in the shelter of Lord Ram, please kindly accept me. It is very difficult to put that trust. It's not easy, especially if you are in the king's position. You are the person responsible for whatever is going to happen. So Vibhishan was Sugriva was not very, you know, he was not able to do it. He was doubting him to the extreme degree. He was saying, oh, this Rakshasa seems to be very clever. He's folding his palms, and this is his weapon. This is his greatest weapon. By folding his palms, he will invoke the compassion of Ram, and that is the weakness of Ram. And Rama will not consider anything, he will accept him. Later on, this person will cheat us. I know everything. He's judging. To say one word for what Sugriv is doing towards Vibhishan, he's judging him, judging his intentions. He's a diplomatic person, he's a diplomat, he's a Raja. Some time ago, he was handled very badly by his own brother Vali. He has that experience also. His own brother Vali was his enemy. He wanted to kill him. Vali was the arch rival of Sugriva. He wanted to kill him at any means, at any cost. He has all that experiences with him. And now he is responsible for what's going to happen. Rama, in one sense, is not just his friend, but Rama is seeking support of of Sugriv to fight with Ravan. So therefore, he is a responsible man. He's very judgmental. You see, Ramayana shows us that good people can also have their weaknesses. Sometimes we think that all bad exists only in evil people, and those who are dharmic people, there is no bad in them. Actually, material world, whether you are dharmic or you are adharmic, the vices can be existing in us, right? The vices, the evil qualities can always exist. So there is a saying which they say that in the Satya Yuga, the Devatas used to stay in one planet and the Rakshasas used to stay in other planet. So one planet is for all the virtuous people, and another separate loka is given to the those who are evil-minded people. That was Satya Yuga. I came Treta. So Treta Yuga, the wise and the virtuous people, they started living on the same planet. They started living in the same planet, and later on came the Dwapar Yuga, where the virtuous and the evil-minded people were living in the same house. Same house also. The same family, somebody may be very virtuous and somebody may be very evil-minded. And now in Kali Yuga, it is a special age. Kali Yuga, the virtue and the vice stays within the same heart. Yes, in the same heart you can have the virtues and the vice qualities also. Evil qualities also. Sugriva, see, he's a great devotee. We have no comparison we can make with Sugriva. Sugriva is a great Vaishnava, great devotee. But you see, right now he's judging Vibhishan. Sometime later, of course, they all will be together. But right now he's judging. And in one sense, he is right. It's not that he is wrong. But Rama is going to teach Sugriva a very great lesson. This is something which I admire in my spiritual master also. That there is something. So when I in my beginning days 20 years ago, when you come to a spiritual movement, you come to associate with spiritual people, you have your eyes of doubt. You don't have eyes of trust because you have been cheated in this world time and again. So when I was interacting with my guru, spiritual master, I used to feel like he's a great person. Nevertheless, he might be also having some, certain shortcomings in him. I used to feel like that. I am from IIT, a well accomplished person. I could not give up my lens of fault finding, very easily. It did not go away very quickly. So in 2005, I attended one yatra along with him in South India. First time I came to South India, Sri Rangam, he took us. 2000 devotees were there. And I was like examining his behavior. And one thing which struck me so much that I was like shocked to see, how can a person be like this? And that is the quality of not just being right. It is the quality of being right beyond the right. Actually, compassion or kindness is not just about being right. Sugriva was right. There's nobody who can say Sugriva was wrong. You must doubt somebody who is coming from the enemy camp at this moment of juncture when the war is about to happen. Few days later, they're going to fight with each other. And the brother of the Lankapati, Lanka Naresh, he comes and says, now I want your shelter. Anybody will doubt. What to speak of Sugriva who wants to protect Rama? He will doubt. He is right. But Rama shows a path of right beyond the right. Very difficult to follow. So till then, in 2005, I was chanting few rounds. Uh, I was trying to learn Gita, trying to understand. So when I started associating with my spiritual master, this is something which I learned from him. To go beyond the right, actually. So in life, being right is good. But Vaishnavism, what God wants us to do is not just the right thing. He wants us to do the right, which is beyond the right. And what is it? It is compassion, which is not about, अच्छा उसने ये गलत काम किया था उसको punish करो. अच्छा उसने ये सही काम किया था उसको award करो. This is not wrong. This is good. But what God wants us to go is beyond this. That is the dharma of compassion. that you will be compassionate to even those people, those who have done wrong to you. You want to give them shelter at the risk of that they can even harm you also. That is compassion. And let's hear about this from Lord Ram. He is the best person who can teach it. So let's hear today what Rama is going to tell to Sugriva about this. So, as he was judging, but Vibhishan, with folded arms, with tears in his eyes, he begged him at least once, please, please allow me to meet Ram at least once. Now, this was too much to, say no to. So, therefore, he knew he can't say no, because if Rama came to know that somebody was beseeching, somebody came to take shelter of Ram, and he was beseeching Sugriva, and Sugriva just outrightly said no. So, therefore, he knew I have to go and consult Rama. I can't decide now on my own. This is something which you should also know. See, if you, all of us represent someone in our life. हम अपने पिता को रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. A son represents a father, a wife represents a husband, you know, the you represent a kula, a dynasty, you also represent a country, right? All of us are representing something or someone in our life, right? When we are taking a decision, when we are doing something, we should know it's not just about me, it's also about whom I represent. It's not just about me, it's also about who do I represent. If you do something wrong, the blame will be given not just to you, but to also all those people whom you represent. Like sometimes a newly married girl comes into the family, right? If she does something wrong, whom does the blame go to? Her family. People will start pointing faults in. अच्छा ये सिखाया तुम्हारी माँ ने. Oh, actually the fault might be present in this girl who has come now, right? But then she is representing the people behind him, behind her. So therefore, if the fault has to be found, it's not just with her, it's also whom she represents. Similarly, it's everywhere. Like, if your son is in a particular situation and he does some mistakes, does something wrong, people just don't just question him. People will question, अच्छा तुम्हारा पिता कौन है? Who is your father? हाँ तुम्हारे पिता ने ये सिखाया तुम्हें. They will scold him. This is what you learned at home. This is what your father taught you. We are all representing someone or someone, some other, something. We have to be very conscious about this. Kali Yuga people, generally, they are not too conscious of whom they are representing. And hence, many times for short term pleasures, we actually forsake such things. So Sugriva was conscious. Sugriva knew this is too much for me to reject. He's really beseeching me. He knew I have to consult Rama. Otherwise, Rama will become angry. Rama will be unhappy that I just let somebody go like this. So therefore, he went and asked Lord Ram. Lord Ram, you remember what he was? He was also unhappy at that time. He was not very happy. Remember, he was going through his own moments of weaknesses. Lakshman had to come and embrace Rama and say, Hey Ram, come up from this moment of weakness you are undergoing and give us a direction. Only you can show us the way. You cannot be weak at this time. You know how Ram was lamenting, remembering Sita. You know how poetic the whole situation became. Oh, the moon is, the moon. Sita must be sitting on the other side of the ocean, and she must be looking at the moon, and I am looking at the moon, and in that way, the moon is transferring my love to Sita. All that he was thinking about. He was feeling very weak, unhappy. He has been away from Sita for more than 8 months now. This is too long time for him. This shows his love for Sita. But now what he will show is his love for all the people of the world. Right? So now what happened? Sugriva comes in, right? And Rama is sitting along with Lakshman. Hanuman is sitting nearby. They all come together. And Sugriva comes and says, My dear Ram, it seems that this is an emergency. I need your attention. Okay, what is it? Rama asks. And he says, An enemy has come our way in the guise of a friend. The Lankapati's brother, Ravan's brother, Vibhishan, has come to seek your shelter, my dear Lord. But of what little wisdom I have, I see that he is like an owl who has come in the assembly of the crows. Just like an owl goes inside the assembly of the crows and looks for an opportune moment. When all the crows are sleeping, the owl wakes up and eats them up. You see, this is how this person is trying to come inside our, the Vanar Sena. I am confident, I am sure that he will definitely cheat us. We cannot give shelter to a Rakshasa. A Rakshasa can any time be deceitful. You cannot give him shelter. So, my dear Lord Ram, I want you to request me. I want your permission to reject him and let him go away. Rama was all hearing. As he was hearing, all the Vanar Sena also came to understand there is something going on. So they also came up there, especially all the big, big leaders. They all came there standing. They started hearing the whole thing. It became a scene, a ruckus. Now it's no longer about two people deciding. It's like a lot of people there. The assembly of Sugriva had like some big generals were there. Jamavant came, Mainda came. A few names were mentioned in the Ramayana. Some big, big leaders have come. All of them are standing. Hanuman is standing. Lakshman is standing. Rama is sitting over there on the rock. And Sugriva is speaking. And now everybody, when he hears Sugriva, all of them they start thinking, yeah, this is correct. And they start nodding their heads. Yes, Lord Ram, this is not the time to take any risk. We have a big mission to achieve. We must go and defeat this Ravan. This man is a potential obstacle. This Vibhishan could become a potential obstacle. Remove him from your way. Everybody was like, along with Sugriva, they wanted Vibhishan to be rejected. That's what was the scene. Rama is sitting. And then all of them, they looked at the face of Ram. Ram's eyes had become bloodshot red. He was so angry. First time in the life, all these Vanaras were looking at the angry face of Ram. Ram was so angry, boiling with anger, thinking, how can these people? In fact, Sugriva went to next step. Sugriva suggested, my dear Lord Ram, not just that we should let him go. Actually, my suggestion is let's kill him right on the spot. Let's kill him right here. Why? Because he's a very dangerous person. He has come here, he has seen some things over here, he could report back, it could be a potential danger. Let's kill him here, right here. And Ram was becoming angry like anything. He was thinking, how can somebody even suggest that you should kill a person who has come seeking your shelter? How can somebody even suggest that? Ram was like, becoming angry. And when they saw the angry face of Ram, they were confused. They were saying, like, what is to be done? They were all confused. Rama understood their confusion and he cooled down his anger. He became calm again. You see, Rama has a lot of sense control in him. This is not the only situation where he shows this. There are many, many, many situations in the whole Ramayana. But he's very, very sense control. He's getting a lot of anger on all these people. He knows that all of them are wrong. Look at what Ram speaks. Amazing. You will be shocked. As the story continues, I can tell you each and every one of you will be shell shocked to hear Ram's character. What Ram speaks? He says, my dear friends, I know all of you are my well-wishers. At this point in time, you're all with me and you want to defeat Ravan. Now this man, this person, this brother of Ravan, Vibhishan, has come to take shelter of me. At this time, I want to seek all of your advice. Please tell me, can I give shelter to Vibhishan? Give me your advice. Give me your opinion. And all of them, when they heard this, they were like so shocked by the humility of Ram. Rama is not an ordinary person. He is Dharma personified. He has all the wisdom, much, much more wisdom than all these people who are standing there. But when they see Rama being so humble, that instead of just taking decision on his own, he is requesting advice of all these people who are standing there, they feel so honored. And let me draw a little parallel over here because a few weeks ago I also spoke about Ravan seeking advice of the Rakshasas. You see, when Ravan was seeking advice from the Rakshasas and now here Ram is seeking advice from the Vanar Sena leaders, this is a big, big, big difference. There is a big difference between the two. When Ravan sought advice, He actually didn't want any advice. Because if he wanted advice, he would not have said no to Mandodari, who was her wife and hence a well-wisher. He would have not become angry on Vibhishan. Because if he really wanted advice, he would have all the open ears to hear what the other party is saying. But all Ravan wanted was to fulfill, to get some support to overcome the insecurity he was feeling in his heart. He was for the first time feeling, I might not win the war. And hence he wanted a moral support for his evil plans. Anybody who did not say yes to his evil plans, he had to be removed from the scene. This is like one-sided race. You already know what you want to do, but you are just for the sake of, making a show, you are telling people, ha, bol do, mere saath rehna. So that was Ravana. But here Rama is very different. Rama is very different. Others are telling to eliminate Vibhishan already. And what is he asking? Should I give shelter? Can I? Can I? In fact, he didn't say should. He said, can I give shelter to Vibhishan? That was his question. Like all of them, they were surprised. And he was very humble because he did not disregard anybody's opinion. They all spoke one by one, one by one. And as you know, so they first of all they felt very honored. There is a lesson. I'll come to it a little later. There is a lesson for all of us on decision making. I'll come a bit later on this, but let me first narrate what all they said. Hmm. So the all the Vanara army chiefs, they felt very encouraged because of Ram's gesture of humility. Oh, he seeks our suggestion. All of them, their thinking caps were on. Do you remember how when Ravana asked for suggestion, nobody thought anything. They just replied based on what will please ego of Ravan. Contrast it here. In fact, Rama said, "Do not be fearful. Speak up your opinion to me honestly. I want to hear you. Hmm? Tell me your opinion. Don't fear any consequences because you fear consequences while telling to somebody of great position and power." So he said, don't fear, you let me know what is your opinion. So all of them were very encouraged and their thinking caps were on. They started thinking. One of the Vanaras who would usually be silent always, he spoke up for the first time. And he said, my dear Lord Ram, you are the ocean of good qualities and you have all the wisdom. If there is any truthfulness existing in this world, that is all in your personification. Right? So you already know what is the best thing to do, but you are honoring us by asking us our advice. I hope and pray that all of our suggestions will help you to decide what is the right thing today. From there, the Angad spoke the first. Angad came up and said, nobody can be trusted blindly. Unless proven innocent, we have to doubt the other person. So therefore, this person, Vibhishan, when he has come to take our shelter, we cannot give him shelter unless he proves to us that he is innocent. So therefore, this is not the time to act impetuously. This is the time to act wisely, and we must first make him undergo some severe test to be able to understand his intentions. And then only when we are very clear, beyond doubts that he has right intentions, we will accept him in our party. Another Rakshasa took on from there and, Vanara took on from there and said, my dear Rama, I think the best way to find out his intentions is to appoint a spy on him. We will appoint our best spy over him, and 24 hours a day, he will be like a shadow. He will keep seeing what he is doing, what he is thinking, what he is talking, what he is behaving. And by that, in some short time to come, we'll understand his intentions. He should be under examination and should be a spy who should be spying on him. While another Vanara heard all of this, he said, I don't think so that you can understand the intentions of people so quickly. So let me tell you another way. Why don't we just bring him in front and question him right up front. If we pose the right question sincerely, we can come to know about the intentions of people quickly. So let's examine him by cross questioning. After that, we'll accept him. Different people, they said something different things they started speaking. None of them agreed to accept Vibhishan on the face value. That means because he is asking to give shelter, take shelter, let's accept him. Finally, when everybody else spoke up, Rama asked Hanuman, "You are silent. Why don't you also speak something?" Hanuman stood up with folded palms. He said, "My dear Lord Ram, you actually don't need any advice. You are the best person who can decide. You have all of our experience is very limited and our wisdom is very limited. We are all faulty. So our thinking will be always faulty. Whereas you are faultless. So your thinking is the best. You have unlimited experience. You have unlimited wisdom. So you actually don't need advice. But because you're instructing me to say something, I want to say a few words. Whatever I am speaking, I am not speaking to debate and come to a conclusion. Neither whatever I am speaking, it is to uh, supersede the words of my friends who have already spoken before me. Neither I want to be disrespectful by going against the opinions of the various people who spoke before me. But let me tell little bit from whatever I know and whatever wisdom I have. Hanuman is very sensitive always. See, because he will have to speak against few of the opinions which people had. See, this is something which you can learn. It's not that we have to accept everything which people say, their opinions, but we have to be sensitive towards their opinions. Even when you want to reject somebody's opinion, it should be done in a respectful manner, not in a disrespectful manner. You know, because disrespect hurts people a lot, especially when you ask them and then you do not do it. People feel very unhappy about it. So, yes, you can reject somebody's opinion. There is nothing wrong. Yet, it should be done in a very respectful way. As we see here, Hanuman is doing very respectful because he is going to speak something against what the friends have said. Is extremely apologetic right at the beginning. Then let me tell you that I am not speaking this to debate with anybody, but I'm just telling a little piece of wisdom which I have. You know, welcome, please have your seat. Hare Krishna. So this Hanuman is extremely sensitive person, extremely sensitive. So Hanumanji said few things as I'm trying to recall. Many things, a lot of conversation is in, there, in this in this episode. Lot of conversation is there. I'll recall a little bit what I can. So Hanumanji said that it is impossible to find anybody's intention, especially in a short term. It is impossible. Humans, Vanaras and Rakshasas are expert at camouflaging their intentions. Camouflaging means hiding up their intentions behind the thick wall of their behavior. He said it's extremely difficult. Of what little I know, he said, it is impossible to judge a person's intentions by looking at their behavior because anybody can camouflage their behavior for very long time also, hiding up what their real intentions are. Especially in a short time, it's not possible to judge anybody's intentions. And he said, even if you speak up with the person, it is unless you are extremely clever at understanding the intonation. Intonation means the voice modulations. When the slightest of the shrieking, slightest of the, change of tone, you are able to observe it. And he said, it is extremely difficult. He said, you cannot find a person's intentions even while trying to cross examine them and question them right up front. And he said, even a spy will fail to find and understand what is the real intention of a person. He said, of what little I know, the only way to find intention of a person is to give him some responsibility. When you give him a certain responsibility, his real nature will come up. And that time you will know what is in his heart. What type of a person is he? What type of intentions he carries? And he says, but in our case, it's an emergency and you need to decide immediately, Lord Ram. I don't think so. We can take this route. It will take long time. Actually, if you know, in the Gurukul system, the way the Acharya, the Gurukul Acharya, he would come to know about the children was by giving them responsibility. He would actually come to understand like who thinks how, what kind of mindset do they carry, what kind of shortcomings do they have, or what kind of good qualities do they have. This is understood very easily when you observe a person while giving them a responsibility. How do they handle a responsibility? You know, this you actually come to know about them quite a lot. Of course, but it still takes a little time. The Acharya would require an year or so to understand and examine the mindsets and behaviors of the people. Of course, this is done with compassion, not to judge any child, but to help them grow from wherever they are. I remember one of my friends, and I know how he amazingly pleased his superiors. I just want to tell about him. So I have one friend. He's almost of my same age. He's in Kanpur. He's temple president in ISKCON Kanpur. So His Grace Achyut Mohan Prabhu. So he was student when I was also student. We came to Krishna consciousness together almost. So, but I know of him very well that how his superiors told me later on, not at that time, but little later, that how they identified in him a very potential leader who would do great things. And that was when he was given a small responsibility. So there was one devotee, a preacher, Shyam Rup Prabhu, who used to visit. He was studying at that time in NIT Suratkal. I was a student in IIT Kharagpur. He was BTech, doing same similar type of course he was doing in NIT Suratkal. So one of these devotees, Shyam Rup Prabhu, who used to visit the college over there, and he was preaching Krishna consciousness. So he met this boy. That time he was just a small boy, 18 or 19 years old. And then he started attending this Bhagavad Gita classes. He was very attracted to the philosophy. And this Prabhuji, who was visiting that place, he said that, I want a SIM card. I wanted to get a SIM card of this local place. This is in the year 2020, sorry, 2004, 5, 4, 5, like those days, mobiles were just coming up, 2004 5. So he said, I wanted a SIM card to be put into a local SIM card to be put into the mobile so that I can call a few people who are here from the Suratkal, that area, Karnataka. Okay, and what this boy he did at the age of 18 or 19, what did he do? He went and he made the entire list, a table of all the various service providers. Idea, I don't know, there was Vodafone at that time, and there was BSNL, and I think four or five of that, at that time. So he made a chart of all these five and what services do they provide, what is the rate at which they provide it, what is the amount which you'll have to pay monthly, lot of things, what are the features, what are the characteristics. And those days this kind of information was not accessible easily, that was not the age of internet. Like nowadays you go and open the chat GPT and just say which sum is better. Whole table he will make. You will compare and you say, I want more comparison. You will put more, pull in data from this side, that side, That was 2004 and 5. Nothing of this sort was there. You can't go on internet and check. Which will this one. Very difficult to know all these things. You had to practically go on a shop, inquire everything, write it down, compare 4 or 5 shops, and then understand which is better, which is not better. This boy did that. He was just in BTech first year actually. Just 18, 19 years old. He did all of that. He brought to this Prabhuji and said, Prabhu, you decide now which one you would like to take. Whatever you would like to take based on this, I will immediately help you out. And this Prabhu was he was like admiring, oh my God, I just asked one SIM card that, which, please, I need to take, I need your help. And he wanted to do to the best extent possible. He said, this type of a person will be a leader in the future. Because he just does not completes the task given to him. He tries to do it to the best possible way to please the heart of the person who is giving him the responsibility. You see? So the intention of a person is judged by giving them responsibility. That's how their natures come out. What do they do at that time? And it's not fast. It's slow process. It will take time. It will take you roughly 6 months to 1 year to observe, and then only you can come to a proper conclusion of what all inside this person is, so therefore Hanumanji said, we can't come to know intentions of Vibhishan in 1 or 2 days or quickly. It's not possible. There's no way existing. But then he said, can I tell one incident which made me observe a few things in Vibhishan? Because all the respectable people who spoke, they do not have any personal experience of speaking and observing Vibhishan. I had that experience when I went to Lanka. If you all allow me, I will speak something about it, Hanumanji said. And they said, of course we want to hear. That's true, because we never met Vibhishan, we are judging him, but you met him earlier, you might know more. And he said, yes. He said, when I was about to be killed by Ravan and all his ministers were planning what is the best way to kill me. At that time, this man Vibhishan stood up and he spoke righteously in the assembly of all evil minded people. In fact, he convinced Ravan to not kill me. He convinced Ravan to only harm me in a small way, not to kill me. And when he spoke up, I was surprised. Fearlessly, he spoke righteous words in the assembly of all these evil minded people. I know for sure he is not a wise person. He is not a bad person. He is definitely having righteousness within him. It's not that right now he's coming here and trying to be righteous with us, but actually he was righteous in the past as well. I witnessed it from my own eyes. And then he said, my dear Lord Ram, it's not that he is making a show of taking your shelter. Actually, I saw him chanting your holy names even inside Lanka. Not that he's just making a show over here. When I went to Lanka, he was chanting, he was trying to worship you. It's not that, he's just feigning up some devotion, what to say, feigning up some devotion and trying to just impress us. But actually, he was doing this right in the kingdom of Lanka also, the Ravana's presence also. And he said, with little bit face reading, which I know, he said, but little bit, because Hanuman was very expert. Uh, Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi ke data, Ashvara Deen Janaki Mata. We sing, right? So he is not just an ordinary Vanara. He is very expert at various things. So one of the things which he knows is face reading. He says, with a little bit knowledge of face reading which I have, I can see that the face of Vibhishan right now is absolutely fearless. And he said, this is impossible if he has bad intentions. It is impossible. How can you come to the enemy camp with no, weapons, with trying to surrender yourself, and you have absolutely no fear of being killed? He said, he has no fear. And this makes me believe that he's definitely here for some good purpose. He's not here for some wrong purpose. And then Hanumanji went on to say, I have witnessed in my master Sugriva's life his own brother disowning him and trying to kill him. And that's why Sugriva went against his own brother and took your shelter, my dear Lord Ram, and then killed his own brother. I witnessed it. And he said, Vibhishan knows about it. He knows about your glories. Couldn't it be that now Vibhishan also wants something similar in his own life? Just like Sugriv took your shelter and then you killed Vali, so that now Sugriv is the king of Kishkindha. In the same manner, is it not possible that now Vibhishan is convinced about the evil-minded Ramana's all the evil plots, and hence he wants to take your shelter so as to defeat this evil-minded brother Ravan and then become the king of Lanka? How is it that it is not possible? It is very much possible. Now this opened the eyes of all the Vanaras. Of course, our own master Sugriv did that. ये तो possible है भाई. Till then they were thinking like, ये कौन आ गया भाई, ये he is brother of he's brother of Ravan, and how can, I mean, we are fearful. The first time when he spoke that, everybody's perspective changed. So point है. Point तो अच्छा है भाई, लगता है कि हो सकता है कि he has come, Ram is hearing all of this. His reply, you will see, you will hear it. He's hearing all of that. He say, okay, tell, whatever you have to say, say. And then he said that uh, for those who said that this is not the right moment that he should have left his brother, yeah, अगर ये अपने भाई का ना हो सका हमारा क्या होगा, for those who are feeling like that, he said, well, whenever the desire to take shelter comes in one's heart, one should never wait. There is no right or wrong moment to take shelter of Lord. There is every moment is a right moment. And he said, I already saw that he was against the evil mindedness of his brother. But probably today he has realized that his brother is actually incorrigible. He cannot be changed. It's impossible to change him. Till now he was trying his best. He loves his brother, but now he understands that it is impossible to change him, and hence he has gone against him, and now he wants to take your shelter, my dear Lord Ram. I feel this he must be given shelter. This is how he ends his speech. Hanuman, everybody was like, oh, Hanuman is right, Hanuman is right, he's telling the right thing. And Rama is silent. Rama speaks back. I heard all of you. I am so thankful that you think so much about me. But probably you misunderstood my question. I never asked you, should we give shelter to Vibhishan or not? I only asked you, should can I give shelter to Vibhishan or not? You only had to say yes or no based on my qualification to be able to give shelter to Vibhishan or not. I never asked you to judge Vibhishan's character. I only asked you about myself, whether I am qualified to give shelter to Vibhishan. Everybody was like, what? What? You asked us to judge you? Not that person. Come on. And he said, probably you forgot which dynasty I am coming from. He speaks to all of them and they're flabbergasted. What? Like their understanding of life is changing completely by interacting this with Rama. Rama is saying, probably you don't know which dynasty I come from. I am coming from the dynasty of Maharaj Shibi. Maharaj Shibi is that personality who gave shelter to even an insignificant parrot, a pigeon in his kingdom. When the parrot was in trouble, the hawk, the eagle was coming and trying to attack that pigeon. He went and flew and took shelter of Maharaj Shibi and said, please kindly protect me. I do not want to die. And Maharaj Shibi, he gave shelter to this insignificant pigeon. And then sometime later, the hawk came and said, well, my dear king, well, if you give shelter to this pigeon, what about me? I am hungry too. You have to feed me as well. And then Maharaj Shibi, what did he do? He actually took the weight of that pigeon and find out what is the weight of that pigeon. He cuts his own flesh from his thighs. He cuts the flesh from his own thighs and the equal amount of weight of that pigeon he gives, now you eat it. I give shelter to you also. Yes. He said, I am coming from Maharaj Shibi's dynasty. There was never a question in my heart whether I should give shelter to Vibhishan or not. I only asked you, am I qualified enough to give him shelter? And he said, if I do not give shelter to Vibhishan, it is impossible for me to return to Ayodhya. They were like all here. They're like they were thinking, what Ram is speaking? What? He said, I cannot go back to Ayodhya. It's not possible for me. He said, with what face I will go in front of Vasishtha, my spiritual master, my guru, and tell him that when a person was in great need and he came to me to take shelter and I refused him, how will I be able to face my spiritual master Vasishtha? What reasons will I give him? It's not possible for me to go back to Ayodhya if I do not give him shelter. And he said, my dear friends, I know that you all of you are thinking about my welfare, but let me tell you a story. By that time, they were like, they did not know. I mean, क्या करना चाहिए? Prabhu Ram is Prabhu Ram. Why he is Prabhu Ram? That's what we are hearing today. And see, then he says, let me tell you a story. A long ago, there was a hunter who had gone to a forest for hunting. And he tried his best throughout the day, but he could not find any prey. He was not successful at killing any of the animals that day. By the time evening came, he was very tired, exhausted, and hungry. He had nothing to eat the whole day. And right as he was about to return, when it was about to become dark, he was returning. And right at that time, there was heavy rain. It was downpouring very heavily. So he could not find his way to return back. He was stuck. Because in a forest, first of all, there are no signs that go left, go right. There are no signs, there is no traffic street or whatever. It's difficult to find your way, especially when it's dark and especially when it's raining. When it's raining too heavily, you can't understand what is what direction. You can't understand only. So he was like drenched totally, exhausted, tired, and now stuck inside the jungle. Now it's very dangerous all night, already night. How would you go back now? In the night, especially in the dark forests, there is no moonlight which enters because a lot of thick forest is there. So moonlight is also not there. You can't find your direction. So he was stuck up. He was right in the middle of the jungle, and it was very cold. He was shivering. He was already shivering because he drenched. He was completely drenched with the water, rainwater. So he was about to die in that situation. So he took up some sticks, like rubbed them and produced some fire, sat beneath one tree, and he was taking shelter. He was just taking some warmth just to keep him alive. But his stomach was grumbling and he was feeling a lot of pain inside his stomach and crying because especially when you're cold, you actually get a lot of hunger. In the cold weather, hunger increases because the inside fire is increases. When you are outside, your body is cold, the stomach produces more fire. So therefore, you get more hunger. So he's even more hungry because he was wet and it was dark and it was cold. His stomach was grumbling as he is sitting and he's taking a little warmth. He was crying, with pain of hunger. There was a pigeon on that tree. And the pigeon came out. Maharaj, Lord Ram is speaking this story in Ramayana. That pigeon came out of its nest and observed who is sitting below. And he saw there is a hunter sitting below. And he recognized, oh, this hunter. This hunter is the same hunter who killed my wife a few days ago. And he became suddenly very angry. Oh, he killed my wife a few days ago. He was angry. But then when he heard the cries of this man, he's like crying, he's feeling very hungry, he's like moaning. How, especially, you've seen animals, right? When they're hungry, a dog will sit on the street. I have seen. If he's hungry, he will not bark. He will not bark. Like that, they will make sound. Similarly, this man was sitting. Humans don't make sound, they go and ask for food. But he's in the forest, whom he can talk to. So he was crying. And when this pigeon heard the cries of this man, his heart changed. He left his enmity. And he thought that this man has come. And by the will of the providence, he has taken my shelter under my tree. He has taken my shelter under my tree. It is my dharma to give him shelter at this point of time. He forgot all the enmity and he himself entered the fire which he had produced, the hunter had produced. He himself entered the fire to be roasted by that fire and eaten by this hunter. And when everybody was hearing this, they were like, what? And he said, then Lord Ram said, if this parrot can follow the dharma of compassion, why should not I? Even at the risk of being cheated by this person, why should not I? And this was like, this was like they were, what to speak? Ramayana says something here. Should I tell you this? What are the words of wisdom? It says there. I want to show you a certain verse a bit later. I have sent you that verse. Huh? Lord Ram's statement. But before I say this, what Ramayana says. So Ramayana says, all the Vanars over there, they were taking the role of a politician. And as a politician, they were absolutely correct. It's not that their judgment was wrong. It's not that their intentions was wrong. It's not what they were speaking was wrong. Everything was correct. But it was from the eyes of a politician. As I said some time ago about Sugriv as well. From the eyes of a politician, you should not trust anybody very quickly. You should not trust anybody, especially from a source who can be cheating you. You should not trust them. And the third law, so first law, do not trust anybody easily. Second law, do not trust anybody, especially from unknown sources or from doubtful sources, just like Vibhishan is belonging to Ravana's family. And third law, even if you trust someone, do not trust them completely. This is the law of a politician. Three laws of a politician. A politician must be like this only. Otherwise, they cannot be politicians. Okay. So they were all correct. In their judgment, all of them were correct from the eyes of a politician. And then Ramayana says, but Lord Ram is not a politician. He is not a king who is sitting there and judging whether I should give shelter to Vibhishan. He is Bhagavan, who will always give shelter to anybody who comes to their door. He is not a politician. And then Ramayana says, what is the meaning of a politician? Meaning of a politician is somebody who has his own interest in his mind. In any relationship, they will keep their interest also, even though they may keep their interest later, but they also have their own interest in their heart while forming a relationship. Whereas Lord Ram had absolutely zero interest in making him happy through this relationship with Vibhishan. He only had the interest to make Vibhishan happy through the relationship with Vibhishan. And this is the greatness of Ram. And that is why he had no fears in accepting Vibhishan in his own side. Because if he had any desire to gain something from Vibhishan, he would be fearful and he will judge whether this person should be trusted or not trusted. This is the nature of Bhagavan Sri Ram. Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. This is the dharma of compassion. This is the meaning of compassion actually. Compassion is not shown with your interest in the picture. Compassion is shown with absolutely zero interest of your own in the picture. Prabhu Ramachandra said therefore at that time, so Sugriv still was very, very confused. He said, Prabhu Ram, but we can't accept him. We can't. You are telling what you are saying, but my heart is not believing. My heart is feeling. I don't want him to cheat you, my dear Lord. Please allow me to do the service. I know you will accept him. I am not able to accept. What should I do? He's crying. And at that time, Prabhu Ramachandra says something to Sugriva and everybody else. I want you to please recite this beautiful shloka from Ramayana. I have asked them to project it here. A very beautiful shloka. These are words of Lord Ramachandra being spoken when Sugriva was so much hesitating still. And what does he say? Sakrad eva prapannoyas tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etadvratam mama. Translation, what does he say? It is my vow that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. So he says, this is my vow. ये मेरा शपथ है. This is my vow. This is what Lord Ram's vow is. Anybody who once, he says, what? Once seriously surrenders unto me, once, only once, and says, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I am there to give him courage. I am there to give him shelter. I will not see what is the qualification he has or not has. So that's there the Ramayana says about the arrow and the bow of Lord Ram. Shall I say on that something? Very interesting. This whole episode is about Sharanagati, you know. So very beautiful. It says that Prabhu Ram keeps a bow and a arrow also. Some people whom he gives shelter are as straight as an arrow. And there are others who also are under the shelter of Ram, but they are as bent as a bow. A bow is never straight, right? You understand the two analogically? So there are some people who are very simple, honest, and pure hearted. They're like the arrow, straight. But there are some who are crooked. There's some with evil intentions. But Lord Ram doesn't judge between the two. He gives shelter to everybody. That is his quality. This is his vow. This is what he says over there, actually. This does not mean that we should remain bent like a bow. This means that we have a lot of hope that even with all our lack of qualifications, Lord Ram will not judge us. And he will accept us if we just try to take his shelter. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that we should retain our crookedness. We should definitely give it up. But we should never have any doubts whether Lord Ram will accept me or not. He will always accept me. And at that time, Lord Ram also says something. He says that actually, Hanuman, you are saying that he has come here so that he can get the kingdom. But let me tell you, it is not possible. He has not come here to gain any kingdom. In fact, he has come making supreme sacrifice. Now, this is one words from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is spoken in the context of one great king, Bharat, King Bharat. That episode is there in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there it says that it is very difficult to give up the desire for three things in life. It's very difficult to give up desire for three things in life. What are the three things? He said it's very difficult to give up the desire for wealth. It is very difficult to give up the desire for companionship from one's family. And it is very difficult to give up the desire for fame. It's very difficult to give up all these three. And Lord Ram said to Hanuman, Vibhishan has not come here to gain something from me. Actually, he has come here giving up these three difficult desires. This is Prabhu Ram's judgment. This is Prabhu Ram's judgment. What is he speaking? He has given up these three difficult desires. How? He said the day he left his kingdom, he does not know whether I will give shelter to him or not. He does not have a patrika speaking that guaranteed shelter of Ram and he will defeat Ravana and place you as a king. He does not have that guarantee on his hand. What is he doing? He is giving up the desire for wealth. If he needed wealth, he will be with Ravana. He will not be with me. I am in the forest right now. Nobody knows whether I'll return to Ayodhya or not. And even if I go to Ayodhya, whether Kaikai will give me the kingdom or not. Yes or no? No guarantee. No guarantee of that. And hence, he has given up the desire for wealth. If he wanted wealth, he will be sitting in that Lanka city filled with gold. But he has come here to seek shelter of me, who is not even a king right now. So definitely, he has given up the desire for wealth. He has given up the desire for companionship of his family because he has left his family members right there in Lanka itself. He does not even know whether he will ever meet them in life. You see, there is nothing told, right? We in Rama, we sitting in Kaliuga, we know what happened. We know, हाँ भाई राम ने मार दिया, उसके बाद लंका में विभीषण को राजा बना. He does not have any guarantee भैया. He has no nothing written anywhere कि ये होगा ही होगा भाई. Right? He has given up the desire for companionship of his own family members. That's how he has come to take my shelter. And third thing, he has come at a time when his brother will need him the most. And hence the people of this world will call him as betrayal. This act of his to go against his brother, it will become an act which will make him inglorious. It will earn him ill fame. It will not gain him fame. Hence, he has given up the desire for fame also. Oh my God, this is the judgment of Ram. You see, only a person who is totally selfless is the person who can see the truth in life of another. Everybody else will have their own opinions and judgments based on their own perspectives. Whereas Prabhu Ram could see the truth of what Vibhishan is actually trying to do. He is taking shelter while making these three big sacrifices, giving up wealth, giving up family, and giving up fame. Then he is now taking my shelter. And so, therefore, he says to Sugriv, please do not waste time in further talking to me. Bring bring Vibhishan now. Bring Vibhishan now and let him take my shelter, and I will give him the shelter right now. Please go. That was like, everybody was like, my God, Prabhu Ram, what is he? What is his dharma of compassion? What is the greatness of Ram? Everybody at that time was seeing. Hanuman, after hearing what Ram was speaking, immediately pays obeisances, prostrate on the ground and says, my dear Lord, I cannot fathom your greatness. By seeing him paying prostrate obeisances, all the Vanar Sena, everybody, they started paying obeisances to Lord Ram. He said, all glories to all your compassion. Prabhu Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. This is called as dharma of compassion. Now, two lessons to end with for us. Ending this, of course, tomorrow, next week when you come, I'll speak on what happened further. How is Vibhishan going to come and meet Lord Ram? How is he actually going to surrender himself? This is an episode in itself. This is the entire big section in itself. Till now, we only discuss how Prabhu Ram is so great. Next week in the new year, we will hear about Vibhishan's surrender. What is his statements? What does he speak? How does he behave? How does he take shelter of Prabhu Ram? You will be surprised to know next week. And what all Ram does further, you will be even more surprised to know next week. So please do come next week and also call or your friends, other family members, acquaintances, and your neighbors that this Ramayana Katha is going on. In the new year, beginning of the new year, by hearing about surrender of Bhishan will be one of the most wonderful things you can ever do in life. So next Sunday is New Year special. New Year special because we speak on the glories of Vibhishan and his surrender to Lord Ram. So while two lessons for us, small lessons for us. I mean, Ramachandra is Bhagavan. We are small jivas. What is a lesson for us? Two lessons. First lesson is if you make decisions in life, never make the decisions without consulting those people whose life will be affected by those decisions. This is very important actually. This is something at the level of bhotik dharma in this world, but it is also important to learn from Lord Ram. See, if he wanted, he could have decided who will go against him. He's a king and he's Bhagavan also. But what is he doing? He's teaching us a great lesson. See, it was not just his own life which will be affected by the decision of accepting Vibhishan. It is also going to affect the life of all this Vanar Sena. Hence, before he took the decision, he wanted to hear all of their opinions and remove whatever fears they had in accepting Vibhishan. So never take decision independently without consulting those people whose life your decision will be affecting. So if you are a family man, especially if you are a male person in your family, You must also talk to your wife and children before deciding anything which will affect their life. Generally speaking, sometimes the male may think, the husband may think, oh, I know, I am anyway doing something for the welfare of the family people. So, what is the harm in just taking a decision and telling them? Actually, it is not about you being good or right or bad. It's about the emotions of other people. It's about the emotions of other people. How are they going to take it? So you should always talk to them, take their opinions, take their understanding, and then together take a decision. That is very, very important. Especially if you're in a office, a leader or a boss or a manager, you should never decide for a team unless you first hear their opinions also. It may be that you have the best opinion. It may be that you have to reject others' opinions, but hearing others' opinion puts them into the right situation to accept what you will say. That is very important actually. The art of decision making by a leader is shown by Prabhu Ram. Very important to follow. Second thing, second lesson for us. You see, Prabhu Ram he's following the compassion dharma at the highest level. We as devotees of Rama at least should be able to follow that same compassion at least at a small level. In our own circles of influence, in our own circles of families or whatever we have interactions with people, we should be kind and compassionate to others. That is very important, actually. You see, what is the meaning of kindness? Kindness means not my happiness, the other person's happiness is important. That is the meaning of kindness. Kindness is never done to get something from the other people person. Kindness is done to let them be happy in their life, not us to be happy in our life. Now, this may be very difficult. It may not be very easy. But can we start following that in small way in our own life? At least in our own small circles, maybe our own families. At least in families, we do not, we at least we can trust them sufficiently that they will not kill us. मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि भैया मार ही देंगे. Because it's very difficult to put faith on people. Kaliyuga is an age of lack of trust. Everywhere there is lack of trust. But if you want to be a devotee of Ram, you have to follow in the footsteps of his, right? We can try putting trust in people, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing to be able to trust people and have compassionate relationships in which we seek others' happiness, not our own happiness. It's a beautiful thing of life. In fact, this is the wealth of life. Happiness you will never receive by seeking it actively or selfishly. You will only receive happiness in the acts of selflessness. This is a fact actually. However, because of the situation of our heart, we are unable to put trust on people and we are unable to be selfless in our life. Can't we try at least a little bit after hearing Prabhu Ram's selflessness, Prabhu Ram's compassion? Can't we do little bit in our own life, in our own way, small way, start this dharma of compassion in life? What do you all think? What do you think about it? Can we? If we have to become Rama Bhakta, shouldn't we start it at small scale somewhere? Can you all think of in one relationship or in one way you can follow the dharma of compassion in your life? Can you all think of it? Give a thought of next 30 to 45 seconds. In which relationship, in what way can you follow the dharma of compassion and follow in the footsteps of Prabhu Ramachandra? I'll give you some few moments. I'm not going to ask you to say to me, but before you leave, you can think about it. Next 30 seconds. Think about it. If you have got your notebook, pen, or anything, you can even write it also. It will be very amazing. Hmm. So, how many of you have thought one way you will be able to follow this dharma of compassion, or in one relationship, you will be able to show this dharma of compassion. Please raise your hand if you already thought. Okay. Some of you need a little more time. Okay. So please think about this, because this is how our hearts will be transformed, our lives will be transformed. Bhakti is a transformative process. Bhakti is not about just becoming happy by getting some material resources in life. Bhakti is a process which gives you inner satisfaction and happiness so much that you don't even need to seek anything outside, actually. But this happens in this way, by trying to follow the teachings which are given in these great, wonderful books. I thank you all today for coming and giving me the opportunity to narrate this whole pastime, and also very sincerely hear Sri Ramayana. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhu Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Next week, as I said, we'll be speaking on Vibhishan. So it's going to be more special, even more heart melting. So kindly call all your friends, acquaintances, relatives, neighbors, whomever you can. New Year special. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I think it's enough time, so we can just close.
Hare Krishna. Let's thank His Grace Amalama Prabhu wholeheartedly for such wonderfully narrating various pastimes from Raman and explaining us very, very deep lessons from various characters of Raman. Let's wholeheartedly express our gratitude by 3 times lovely chanting. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Also, we'd like to especially thank all those devotees who have come for the first time. So we'll heartily request all the devotees who have come for the first time to kindly stand up your positions. We have few names. Soumya Mataji has come for the first time. And also Sri Devi Mataji, I think she went in between. Uh, thank you very much, Mataji. Let's thank her by 3 times slowly chanting. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much for coming, and we request you to please keep coming here if your experience was good today. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Also, we'd like to specially express our gratitude for Anita Mataji. Mataji has donated for today's dinner prasadam for pleasure of all the devotees. Kindly, please stand up, Mataji. Let's wholeheartedly pray and thank Mataji and express our heartfelt gratitude
For her and as well as her whole family.
whole family
By
by
chanting the
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Mahamantra.
Mahamantra.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
regarding
Yes, dinner.
Also, one small announcement. So, actually, we want to extend our services to all of you. We want to serve all of you in your journey of this Krishna consciousness and help you go deeper in this subject matter, learn this subject matter more deeper. So, just like how Prabhuji Jashna has asked you a question that how you want to apply this principle of compassion in your life. You got a few moments to think, right? And you felt, yes, this subject matter can be applied in our lives as well. So, in order to help to all of you in this journey or think more deeper in our life, reflect more and learn more and grow more and actually practically apply these principles in our life. So, we are actually planning to every week after this class, say on Monday or so, through your mentors, we want to actually circulate some few questions, a very thoughtful questions based on this Sunday program. So whatever you learned here, based on this, few questions, may 4 or 5 questions will be there, which will be very thought provoking. Some questions will be direct and some questions which will be based on practical applications, how we can apply in our lives. So how that will help us is, say, many times we hear, but the problem is we tend to forget immediately because many things are there in our life, many things keep coming and we tend to forget. So in order to actually help us retain that subject matter for a long time and also get a deeper understanding, first we try to retain it, then get a deeper understanding, then what will happen, we'll start reflecting on it and also start developing appreciation on those qualities or the spiritual knowledge that we are receiving. Then later what will happen, we'll start when we write those on a paper, we'll start actually try to understand how I can apply personally in my life. So real life applications comes into picture, and then slowly when we start applying, the actual transformation of heart will happen. Then what will happen is we'll start seeing that visible consequences will be there, our perspectives towards the world changes, then also our maturity levels increases, various advantages will come, and once upon a time the qualities which are actually appreciating in the scriptures will start developing those qualities in us, and will actually become truly a devotee and will actually become happy. So in this journey of yours, we'll just want to serve you by adding these few questions every week. So what we request is kindly take out little bit time. It does not take so much time to solve that assignment, but it may take little time, but it will actually help each one of us to go much deeper. And there may be 4 or 5 questions you can solve at your own time. We'll be sending through your mentors, and you can submit to your mentors. So your mentors will actually go through it. You can even discuss. It's not just like a test, but you can happily discuss with mentors. You can discuss with your friends. Suppose if it's a family, husband and wife also can discuss and write their own answers and submit to the mentors. Mentors will do evaluate. If they want to discuss, they will discuss. And next week when we come here, they will actually also give you marks in that. So after writing that, we'll have a marking system. We'll be having a leaderboard system, leaderboard positions for all the devotees. And finally, after a few weeks, say 8 weeks or so, every devotee who is consistently writing the answers or submitting the assignments at the same time, who is scoring more marks, giving a very good answers consistently, will be given a special gift. Special gift. Yes. I hope all the devotees are happy with this. If you are happy, please chant Hari Bol. Jai. So every Monday we'll try to give these small few questions to all of you. We humbly request that it's just for our own benefit, for all of our benefits. It's not to evaluate or test anything.
Yeah, let's not call this as assignment. Let's call it as a worksheet.
Worksheet, yeah.
Yeah, so workshops. I have attended several workshops at various places. Basically, he wants to convert a lecture into a workshop. So he wants to give you a reflection question, which are life transforming. So it will be nice if you could please see. First worksheet, if you release, then I think everybody can see, and then they will be happy to probably say next week what's their suggestion.
Sure. We'll release by tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very grateful to Lokesh Prabhu and the team who wants to see who in this world is there to help us in our journey of transformation. Nobody is helping, but he wants to take you to the next step from hearing to thinking about what you have heard and then probably even transforming yourself through that worksheet. So let's thank Lokesh Prabhu and his team who wants to do this service for all of us once by chanting Hari. Thank you. Let's see the first week and then we can take opinion from everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We request all devotees to proceed for dinner prasadam. Hari Bol.